I might add, creating these enormous disparities between the haves and the have-nots, which breeds so much social injustice and hatred and warfare and on and on and on and on. So it's the single biggest change in the known history of the world. And the Industrial Revolution to now, those 150 years, will look like a little, on a graph it'd be this much change. What I'm talking about is this much. But that's why it's secret. Because the people trying to maintain their grip on the world order don't want that change. Why? Because when power generation is decentralized, power becomes decentralized. Here's why. I mean, geopolitical power. When every village in India or sub-Saharan Africa has something, an energy device where they can provide all their energy needs without any pollution, without building a multi-trillion-dollar power grid with transmission lines, without a supply line of coal or oil going to it, and can have manufacturing and electrification and all this, suddenly geopolitical power is going to shift. Why? Think about it. Think about it. What does geopolitical power come from? Your economic prowess and clout. All of America and Western Europe is 600 million people. The world is 6 billion. But if your population number gave you geopolitical power, China and India would be the most powerful geopolitical entities, and they're not. And it's because of this issue. But when this happens, suddenly at the geopolitical round, we'll actually have to put a seat there for all these other civilizations and races. And there's a lot of racism to the world order today, but I think it's not. So this is a huge issue. And people say, well, yeah, but wouldn't they make a lot of money from selling these machines? And I go, yeah, but you think the money is made on the engine that's in a Suburban? Well, that engine's only worth $5,000, but over the life of that car, it's going to get $40,000 or $50,000 in oil. It's the supply line of the energy where the money is and always has been. And so this would change that dynamic forever and for the good. But there are some folks who don't want to go into that change because they have to give up their death grip of power. We just have to let them realize that it's time. And that's what we're doing. Yes, sir.
Dr. Greer, thank you so much for us today. I think it's so important. And for mankind, things like being vegan, practicing yoga, practicing meditation, going to electric vehicles, sustainable living, all of the possibilities that we can do in line with also writing our Congress people or being involved that way. What can we do as individuals to make a change?
Well, there are several things. First of all, you're welcome to come on these expeditions where we do the training to be able to be primary ambassadors to these civilizations. And in the process, you become really enlightened in this state of consciousness, which empowers everything you're doing. The second thing you can do is to pray for us and say some prayers and meditation. I know that my life is so much in the balance and I'm on so much borrowed time. I know this more than anybody. And so I think it's really important. We ask for your prayers and support. The other thing is to ask yourself, what is your skill set? I say this very genuinely. It's become a joke. I'm a country doctor from Virginia, but I really am. We need people who understand finance, who can put together some vehicle for getting a modest amount of funding in place to put all these engineers and scientists who are brave enough to step forward with us as a strategic leadership team to get this stuff out. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to raise money. If I did, we'd have it. We don't have it. I'm not competent to do that. We need help with that. We need people who are good engineers who will work with us in these projects. We desperately need someone, practically speaking, who's very good and really on a world-class level with PR. Because like Fox News wanted to have me on, and we didn't find out in time, and I was in the air when they wanted me on to talk about what happened over O'Hare with the UFO that hovered and went up through the clouds and made a hole in the clouds. So we need sort of the point person for that and can really work. We have all these practical needs, and we really do. It's a lot. Don't let all this fool you. This has all been done. We don't have an office. We don't have a staff. There's no paid staff. There's no budget. And people can't believe what we've done on nothing. Nothing. There's one woman who's a fellow ER doc of modest means who's, contributed $400,000 of our earnings to help us get this far, and a few other people. Very modest over all these years. And, so you can help in that way. And there are a lot of other things that you can do. You can help us research and network with folks, because we have, where's Raven? Raven's here. She's our Disclosure Project representative. And we encourage people to become a representative for what we're doing. So you can get these videos of these military witnesses, all this information on your local cable channel, or host a screening of it, or all kinds of things. And, most of the things that have happened that have been enormously successful with this project are because people said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to step up to the plate and do it. And so it's something where it's really all about people pulling together. And this is how we've been able to get this far. And the other thing is that you can become a contact person for the ETs in your local area. When we do these trainings, we ask everyone to go back and a local ambassador team, and that they will then train. In medicine there's this saying, you see one, and then you do it, and then you teach it. So see one, do one, teach one. Otherwise they won't let you in medical school. But they shouldn't. Because so in here the idea is that we go out and we share this knowledge and these techniques together, and then ask people. In fact, in Joshua Tree there's a Native American shamanic initiation cave. I go in there 9 at a time, and I lead a meditation where I take everyone, and they are then ambassadors to the universe. That's what we call our training, ambassadors to the universe. Where you then, if you live in, Modesto or wherever you are, you go back there and can train other people and go out and do this in meditation, but also make contact. And people have done this all over the world, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, and amazing contacts have happened. Amazing. I mean, photograph, videotape, everything. We also need a lot of help with just communications and internet and all that. So there's a lot of needs. The few people really doing all this have a lot on their plate. And a lot of people come up and say, why don't you do, and I say, stop right there. I'm sort of like full up. If you make a suggestion, I'll turn to you and say, that's a great idea. Will you do it? It's very much like that. It's a very decentralized sort of situation, which is, I think, how it has to be. That it is, on one level. So, yeah, those are all things that people can do to help. And thank you for asking. Yes, sir.
Specific star system origins visiting use.
Which star systems are some of these visitors from? Well, they're from all over various star systems and also galaxies. And the exact ones, I don't want to know. I don't ask. Now, people have their theories. This one's Palladian, this is Zeta Reticuli, and quack, quack, quack. I don't listen, because you know what I think? I think, A, they don't care. It's like, once you become a world citizen, you don't really care if you're from Poughkeepsie or LA. Number two, it's a security problem. Because in these classified projects, they've developed longitudinal systems that are very dangerous and that could reach other worlds. And they've tried using them. What they've mainly been using them for is that they have platforms in space. I mean, this thing is, people say, let's start a movement to stop the weaponization of space. I say, you missed that boat in 1965. By 1965, those weapons were up and running. Absolutely true. I know guys who built them. I know guys who've been present when they've been used. But the really advanced ones, some of them use electromagnetic pulse generation, but the really advanced ones are longitudinal weapon systems, which, if you think of an electromagnetic signal being like this is a straight line. This is not like this. And so it's at infinite velocity. And so the reason I'm going into all that, a little arcane technology and classified information that they don't let me talk about, is that's why when we have our encounters, and I never say what planet and which star system. First of all, it doesn't matter. Secondly, I don't want to know. And thirdly, I don't think they'd say. So the people who do think they know, I think they don't know. Yes, sir.
Yeah, is as long as we're through the looking glass, is time travel part of our reality, and do we have a bunch